I am so excited for this season. This is my vibe. I am in autumn, clearly. Hi, besties. I'm Jordan. Today, we're planning for fall together. We're going to revisit my Notion setup and plan for this year. This is the dashboard for my autumn bucket list, and you and I can decide together what we want to focus on. I did copy paste this from the 2024 bucket list. So I probably need to make some edits as we go. On the left, I will always have some sort of image. I got this from Pinterest. I cannot take any credit. It's a really quick visual if I'm thinking about where I want to spend my time for this season. It's got some really good ideas, most of which don't require a lot of time or energies. On the right-hand side, I wanted to start tracking events I'm looking forward to or that I just wanted on the calendar. I ended up going to a farm for my mom's birthday. That was so cute. We did apple picking, sunflower field, pumpkin patches. On September 27th, I went to Hell's Kitchen on Broadway with my family. It was amazing. I firmly believe that Broadway is a privilege. It is expensive. It is not accessible for everybody. Even New York City itself is not accessible for everybody. Elevators are often broken. Places don't have ramps. October 4th, I was going to go to a book festival. I've been subscribed to Susan's newsletter since the womb. She always has really good writing advice, so definitely check her out if you've never heard of her before. I was really excited for Adeline Grace. I have the Belladonna trilogy, the UK editions. I just found out 2 days ago that she's not going to be able to make the book festival, which is okay. It's going to be nice to come back, get into my fall vibe, continue decorating and laying out things around my house, making it cozy. You might be able to see it. I'm sure it's probably quite small, but I've started putting out fall wreaths. We've got the fall earrings, the fall lippy, the fall colors. Even my office, this is like the perfect fall colors. There's a place called Stone Mountain, which I'm actually wearing. This is probably so small in edits, but I got this t-shirt now talking about going back to Stone Mountain in my Stone Mountain t-shirt. I found out they do a Scottish festival and like a Highland Games, Scottish Highland Festival and Games. All I know is I saw this picture of a parade and everybody's in kilts. If you've seen Outlander, I have seen all 7 seasons like 15 times. The best season by far is season number 1. There's something about the way they filmed it, the quality of the cinema, the dialogue, the relationships, the storyline. It's just so good. So to be able to pretend I am in Outlander and I'm going to a Scottish fest, I can't ask for anything more. October 25th, Oktoberfest, and potentially a day trip to do some waterfalls, some nature. Then for Halloween, I normally don't do anything, but I got some new fall decor, really cute things just for the kids in my neighborhood. I got this cute mat where on one side it says trick or treat, and then if you flip it around, it says out of candy, the Luna Forgotten Fantasy exhibit. One of my friends is stoked that this is a thing. Apparently the artists are like really well known and the exhibits are cool. All I know is that it looks like a giant Ferris wheel in the middle of town, and everything that they put is kind of like carnival rides, but they're art exhibits. What is more fall or more fun than eating lots of good food with good friends? It'll be nice to just gather and remind ourselves of what we're grateful for and thankful for. I know there's some controversy around the actual holiday of Thanksgiving and like what we're celebrating. I don't subscribe to those things, but I do really subscribe to gratitude and being thankful and surrounding yourself with your loved ones and making home cooked meals and gathering and being in the moment, being together, being with each other, being with your community. That to me is what Thanksgiving is about. There is an other options section. Do I need to add anything else to the bucket list? No. But just in case something falls through, there's 3 state fairs that happen every single year. There's a food and wine festival, Japan Fest, K-pop Fest. Actually, one of the singers from the Saja Boys, oh God, I wish I remembered his name, but he's going to be there at the K-pop Fest. Went to one music fest probably a couple of years ago. I saw Miss Coco Jones in her glory. We saw Janet Jackson. Kendrick Lamar burned the whole park down. Like, he was so good. As you can see, we've already had a lot of fun this season so far. Last year, I did a flower bouquet DIY. That was very cool. So this year, do I want to do any DIYs? Maybe let's just say fall flower bouquet. Honestly, I might cheat and get some stuff from Trader Joe's. Last year, I also did a autumn diorama inside of a log. I did a whole DIY. Ugh, last year was the season for DIYs, y'all. And I didn't have a channel then, but I wish I had recorded the process of me building and doing some of these crafts. I got these big logs. They're hollow, if you remember from science class when you had to make a diorama. This year, the location that I put, honestly, I could put 3 or 4. Last year, I also did a witchy house DIY. So I bought this big witchy house and all these cute little figurines from again, wish I had a channel back then. Did all these figurines from Michael's and I like organized it and glued it and made like a whole house. DIY crafts are so easy in the sense of the barrier to entry is quite low. You can bop on your sofa, sit on the floor, lounge on your bed, do whatever when fall comes around for aesthetics. Nobody can tell me anything. Y'all gonna be sick of me. One of the first things I do, even my desktop, Harry Potter themed, my iPad, customized, iPhone, customized, Kindle, customized, Switch, customized. Maybe I'll do a video on it at some point, but all of that is already done and probably will forever live on this list. TV shows, Discovery Witches I watched. Disappointing. I don't know. I really wanted it to be good and it wasn't. Wednesday, we're going to uncross because season 2 came out. Love Jenna Ortega. She is the most like magnetic person in my, what are they called? Parasocial relationships. Like her and I would be besties in real life. She seems so chill. She's so pretty. She's so talented. She's so hardworking. If there's like a stan club for her, I'm in it. Gilmore Girls, I think it's overhyped, but I'm gonna cross it out because I've already seen it. And I definitely rewatched it last year. I know that all the girlies love it. I just wish there was like Gilmore Girls for Black girls. Like I want that same kind of banter that Lorelai and Rory have, and just that same kind of like small town trees with the cozy and the sweaters and whatever. Like the vibes are there for Gilmore Girls. It's just very white. I just wish they had the show that was just like that for Black girls and Black families and communities of color, so that we can also have that same excitement around a show like that we want to rewatch every single year. If I was a filmmaker, couldn't tell me nothing. I would definitely do that. Sherlock, I've seen like 15 times. Read the books if you haven't. I read them when I was younger. There is a Robert Downey Jr., I think 1 movie, maybe 2. He did a fantastic job. Then the BBC TV series with Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch. Love Martin Freeman. I think that he is a spectacular actor. He was in The Hobbit. He was in Black Panther. I will watch anything that he's in. So I'm going to leave it crossed because I've already seen it, but highly recommend. Castle, I'm going to uncross because I've seen it, but then I dropped off and then it got canceled, right? So I think I'm somewhere floating around in like season 5, 6, 7. Dead Boy Detectives, I haven't seen, so that's still on the list. Downton Abbey, my heart. I'm going to uncross it and just say that there's a new movie that recently came out. So let's uncross Downton Abbey. And with an E, I heard was very good, very fall-y. Bridgerton. I'm going to do a Bridgerton / Queen Charlotte. I would rewatch those. They just give like the vibe. It fits in with the vibe. Lock and Key, I heard was good. I haven't seen. All American, I started but didn't finish. There was that spin-off show. I think it was called Homecoming or something like that. Is there anything more fall, at least in America, than football? Than the start of football season? That is like quintessential American thing. One Tree Hill, as much as it is a guilty pleasure, we're going to cross it off because there's so much on the list to watch that we are going to try our hardest not to keep rewatching our comfort shows. Outlander, I'm actually going to cross off because I've seen it and I believe I'm caught up. Blood of My Blood, I will keep on. What We Do in the Shadows was recommended. Haven't seen it. Once Upon a Time, I'm not going to lie, I am watching that right now. But we're getting to like the Dark Swan storyline, which I don't really love. So I'm just like leaving it on in the background. But I've seen that like 15 times. That is definitely a comfort show for me. I started Felicity last year and I don't think I finished it. So we're going to uncross that. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Chilling Adventures, I started but didn't see. Charmed is a classic. Series of Unfortunate Events I've seen, highly recommend. Stranger Things I started but didn't finish. Teen Wolf, finished. The Witcher, finished, and I refuse to watch anything new that Henry Cavill's not in. That's crossed out. Once Upon a Time, we've duplicated it, but it fits in the October vibe too. That's probably why it's here. Lockwood and Company was canceled too soon. When I tell you whoever was in the writer's room for that show, A+ on the dialogue. A+ on the dialogue. I really enjoyed that show and I watch it every October. Agatha came out last year, didn't watch it because I had all these other things obviously to watch. And now I think there's 2 seasons, so we're gonna keep that on the list. Only Wonders in the building, haven't seen. Winx, I've seen 5 times. So, that is the TV shows. This is why I don't know if the algorithm or, like, YouTube in general will ever find me in my corner of the internet, because I think I just have too many interests. There's too much going on. I talk about hobbies and life and all sorts of things, and I just don't know if there's, like, a place for me in the algorithm, but I'm gonna uncross Stardew because can you ever be done with Stardew? No. Hogwarts Legacy I'm gonna uncross, but I did play these 2 last year. Cozy Grove I finished. Actually, Cozy Grove I started but didn't finish. Witchy Life Story I started but didn't finish. I bought Franbo because I had played Little Misfortune, and I just think it's too creepy for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll live stream it, so even though there's no community now, like, maybe I'll just feel like I'm talking to somebody who can, like, keep me company and protect me. The game is creepy. It's creepy. We're gonna uncross it because it is an option, but I don't know that I'm gonna be diving headfirst into Franbo, y'all, honestly. Strange Horticulture I've got on the Switch. Haven't started it. Spirit Fair I've got on Steam. I heard it was sad, so keep it on the list, but who knows. I loved Little Misfortune. And honestly, I might okay. Don't come for me. I'm gonna uncross it. And the exception I'm going to make, if I can figure out the tech part of it, is I think I'm gonna live stream, or at least, like, record me playing Little Misfortune from the beginning again, because oh my gosh, such an amazing game. I can't, that's it. That's all you need to know. Animal Crossing, I own, I'm playing. I don't love it. I think it's overhyped. Grease, I'm in the middle of, haven't finished it. A Short Hike I played last year, very cute. Zelda, me and her have a traumatic history, but we're working through it. When I first started playing, I had to call my brother because he kept saying, and everybody kept saying, that Breath of the Wild was a really relaxing game with, like, lots of exploration, and it's so great. And then when I played it, I jumped off of a cliff and died, which, come on, 3 hearts for jumping off of a mountain? Come on. And then I kept getting attacked by these, like, weird pig things, and I got stressed with the bow and arrow, and so I stopped playing. I did pick it back up on a flight recently, and so we're gonna leave it. Don't come for me because I've never played Zelda before. But Link is cool. I want to get to the point, one of my friends plays it, and when she opens up her game, he's decked out in cute stuff. There's stuff going on, and she's got all these tools and weapons and whatever. That's the point I want to get to. I just got to the point where I unlocked my first shrine. Wow. So we're gonna leave that. And then on Steam, I basically bought all of the Humongous Entertainment games that I loved when I was a kid, and I'm, like, in the midst of those. I think I'm almost done with Spy Fox. I finished Pajama Sam 1, and I'm in the middle of Pajama Sam 2. So those are so comforting for me. Love them. We can talk about food. So pumpkin and banana bread. Made it last year. I made pumpkin bread from scratch with my friend. That was cool. This year, I could make banana bread for sure. I know how to make it. I actually make banana bread muffins that are mean. And the trick is to put brown sugar in the bottom of the little cups. I actually have applesauce going right now, literally, as we speak. So that's in the crock pot. So let's make sure we cross that off already. Meatballs. Ugh, is there anything more fall than meatballs? Chicken pot pie, I've already made this season. Cookies, yes, definitely have baked them already. All the oh my god, all the chai teas, all the matchas, these are already done, drank, done, dusted. Pumpkin spice pancakes, I made them last year. I've had something similar this year, so I think I'm good on the foods. And then, oof, hold on, the lighting is shifting. Okay, hopefully that's better with the light. Let's talk about everything Studio Ghibli. I literally just saw this research article that said that people who watch anything Studio Ghibli have, like, more serotonin in their brains. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what that is, if you've never watched Spirited Away around Halloween, or you've never seen The Wind Rises or Kiki's Delivery Service, finish my video first and then go watch. I'm going to scroll down because obviously this is, like, a huge list. Actually, I might just make a toggle really quick while I have y'all. And move all of this. I think Howl's Moving Castle is overrated, capital O. You can come for me. You can quote me on that. I didn't like it. There's no storyline. The Wind Rises, I cried. That one is really good, and it's very romantic. Other cartoons and anime, I just bunched them all in the same, is Over the Garden Wall. Watched it last year, discovered it last year. It was recommended to me, and I've already watched it 3 times this year. It is amazing. Elijah Wood, his voice is so distinctive. It's so comforting. I don't know. And because I love Lord of the Rings, there's that tie in my brain. So he voices, I think his name is Wirt, is one of the brothers in Over the Garden Wall. It's so short. Every episode's 20 minutes, and there's only 8 episodes. Winnie the Pooh, I'm going to leave crossed out because I've seen it. When I'm going through a really hard time in life, where I'm just like very down, you know that things are bad if I'm watching Winnie the Pooh. Like, that is crisis mode, SOS. Somebody needs to send a pizza to my house. If I have turned on Winnie the Pooh, it is like my childhood on screen, and it is the most comforting thing for me. However, I only turn to it when I am deep in despair. So we're going to leave that crossed out because hopefully I won't be deep in despair this season. Arcane I've seen like 15 times. I definitely think it was accurately hyped. Free Run I watched last year, but I couldn't get into it. This year, I started it, and I think I got into it around episode 5 or 6 because there's like a battle that's happening. It's hard to explain, but the beginning of Free Run is very slow to me. It's very slow pacing. Again, it's super cozy for the season. It's like on the watch list for a reason. Black Butler started but didn't finish. I think I watched 2 seasons and then I got bored. I didn't like the storyline. I think of like season 3 or 4. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. My favorite anime on planet Earth. You cannot convince me otherwise. If you have not seen it, finish my video first and then go watch it. It will change your life. As you're making your bucket list, do you need all of these categories? Absolutely not. For me, it's just helpful to have all of the thinking done by your past self so that your future self can sit down with the remote and your popcorn and your fall snacks and relax. Here are the checklists. These are probably quite small, but here are 2 of the Studio Ghibli movie checklists that I found on Pinterest that I think I might, especially this one's got checkboxes, I might dump this into Canva and then check off all the ones I've already seen and put that back into the bucket list. Detective Pikachu. I know people didn't really like that movie. I really liked it. So I watched that last year. Matilda, Drumline, Stepmom, Nightmare Before Christmas, I typically watch on Halloween. The Goonies, oh my gosh. If you haven't seen The Goonies, love, Trump. If you haven't seen The Goonies, you are missing out. But I am going to cross it off because I've seen it. Mystic Pizza, I'm going to bold because I started it. I'm about halfway through. Miller's Girl, Monster House, Lord of the Rings. You already know I started The Fellowship. I couldn't help myself. So we're going to uncross it because I could probably... Is there any harm in watching the best cinematic trilogy of all time for the 25th time? I don't think so. I don't think there's any harm. So you can't tell me anything when it comes to Lord of the Rings. Everything that they did in that movie trilogy, with the exception of probably not making them longer, even after the expanded editions, like, it is my favorite movie trilogy of all time. It is a cinematic masterpiece. You cannot tell me otherwise. School for Good and Evil came out. Haven't seen it. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So cute for fall. I just watched Notting Hill for the first time. Also had never seen that. That was super cute. I think the Pride and Prejudice version that I'm looking for with Keira Knightley is 2007 or 2005 or something like that. But we'll see. I'll have to do my research there. I know y'all are going to come for me because the Twilight movies are terrible. That is an accurate statement. And my brother to this day makes fun of me because Twilight movies were coming out and I had read the books 15 times over. I was stoked for the movies. And I think at the time I was in such of like my haze of Teen Jacob that I couldn't really see how bad the movies were. And now that I'm older and I've watched it, I was like, man, first movie especially, y'all had no budget. Y'all were on a no low budget. Thinking about just, I don't know, cinema and art in general. I would love for somebody to remake the Twilight movies. Because then we've got the ones that exist and that like corny baseball scene, and we've got the twists and the actually like that exists for us to consume. But then we might potentially have like a better movie to also consume. Dead Poets Society, I watched the first time last year and I cried. I would still recommend it if it's up there with Mona Lisa Smile, speaking of, which I watched this year for the first time. Coraline, Coco, Hunger Games, Beetlejuice, Penelope, Princess, Barat, classic. Casper, Pirates, Batman. And I think last year I only watched Batman Begins, but I didn't finish it. So, because I'm really pushing myself to watch things I haven't watched, we're going to cross out the Christopher Nolan because I've seen them also 10 times. Pirates, I've also seen those like a lot. If you need more ideas other than the ones that I have, somebody made this bucket list of movies, which I think is really helpful because I'm not a horror person. Finally, my TBR. Last year, I read My Roommate's a Vampire. It was so cute. Romantic comedy, very short read. I needed a palate cleanser from some of the heavier stuff that I had been reading. Pumpkin, we're going to do a quick, this is like a yes, no, maybe, but I'm going to do like the yappy version really quick. Pumpkin Spice Cafe, hated it. Overhyped. There's like a cinnamon bun bookstore one. No, I will not be reading anything by Lori Gilmore ever again. The writing was not that great. The plot was very predictable. There was no care. I don't know. It wasn't good. I felt after I read it that I had wasted my time, if that tells you anything. The X Hex was super cute. I already finished Wedding Witch. And then I also already finished I think it's second in the trilogy, is called, wait, let me think about that for a second. Oh, The Kiss Curse. So we're going to add that. Small town, it's Halloween, it's fall, it's vibey, there's a school, there's like a curse, it's good. The XX was very good. Would recommend. Don't get me started on the Belladonna trilogy. Don't get me started. That deserves its own video. That deserves all the confetti, all the like best books that I have read this year so far. And actually in the last couple of years, these are the best books that I have read. Other than, what did I also read? The Rose Bargain. Those 4, they are primetime Olympic medal spots on my TBR. Any advice? Her and I had an up and down roller coaster. I liked it, then I didn't, then I was over it, and then she saved herself on the last 2 pages. Like I literally cried because it was like something out of a rom-com. Very cute. I tried to get into Bookshops and Bone Dust. I just couldn't finish it. I can't tell if it's because there's no big bad and it's just one of those like slow, cozy reads, which again, there is a place for that. And I love that kind of stuff. But I also think because I write young adult fantasy and I read a lot of that. And then also you can see on this list where my reading lies. I just think I can't really get into it. So we'll leave it on the TBR, but I'm not sure. We're going to move Bride. I put that on here and I'm going to bold it because I'm currently reading it right now. Very good. I haven't finished it. I'm in very early days. I'm listening to that on Spotify. I like the dichotomy between the female vampire and she gets like chapters. And then the male werewolf has one tortured sentence, right? It was like, I forget what it said, but it was something like, I wanted to be like close to her, but as far away from her as I could get. Something like that. Like he has like 2 sentences, maybe 1 for his chapters and his POV. That's definitely something that is interesting to me. So that's really good. The first Ali Hazelwood book I read was Problematic Summer Romance. Overhyped. I didn't think it was good. I hated the main love interest. The book was repetitive. She could have consolidated like a third of that book. Editor could have ripped out a lot of that. I'm not going to say it was a waste of my time, but I do think it was overhyped. And I think for people that had already read Ali Hazelwood stuff, they had recommended it and I read it in the summer and just, I don't know, 3 stars. I don't know if I would recommend it. Calabasas, I'm reading. They go to hell to rescue like a thesis, like a PhD professor or something. And I don't actually think I've ever read anything by, I think it's R.F. Wong, if I'm pronouncing that. So Calabasas, I started. It's quite academic, but the character voices is there. Fourth Wing, I refused to start it because I thought it was overhyped. And I might have said this before, but I tend to find that when things are hyped, especially book talk, because I don't think that book talk is a reliable narrator, it like gives me the ick. Like I don't want to get anywhere near anything that all of these people are like jumping all over. And I don't know why. I can't really explain it, but it's sitting on my bookshelf. The book is pretty. I got sucked in and I just picked it up. And so far, so good. I'm at the part right when they passed the threshing. So after no spoilers, but after the threshing happens, that's kind of where I'm at in the book. And I really like the character voice. I really like the premise. And actually, like the mom character is very similar to the mom character that's in my own novel. And so I'm just trying to make sure I keep those things separate. But so far, so good. I will be super curious because I think people say it falls apart in the last 2/3 of the book. And then the rest of the books are like, okay. But I want to form my own opinion. Inheritance Games, I'm reading on my Kindle. I started it, didn't finish it. I cannot for the life of me keep track of all these boys, though. They're not distinctive enough for me, and there's too many. There's too many Hawthorne boys. So I put that down. If you have not read Six of Crows, it's going to change your life. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say without rambling. I'm sure this video is already very long. And so without rambling like a crazy person about how much I love this book and how much I wish I could reread it for the first time, I'll put it right here. So that's what we're looking at for the TBR. If you've got any other recommendations, drop them in the comments below. I have a TBR that is, you could run 3 times around the world with like my list dragging behind you. Like I have so many books I want to read. And so far, I think I've read 17 books this year. The fact that I can listen to audiobooks while I do my chores or drive, like I'm always in my car, or I don't know, I can go on a walk and like still kind of get my reading in. I grew up in the library. My mom would always take me and my brother to the library. And I remember one time we went in, I was in like 3rd grade or something. Mom looks at her and goes, "No, you don't understand. Like my child has read every single book in this library for this age group." And then the lady was like, "Oh," like she didn't believe me. Like that's how many books we got from the library. So if you are not all up in your local library, PSA, just do it. You will not regret it. How many times do you read a book and like you read it twice? Again, exceptions for me, Belladonna Trilogy, Lord of the Rings, The Rose Bargain, Six of Crows. Those are probably, maybe Harry Potter. There's not a lot of books on my bookshelf right now that I would pick up and reread for a second time. Or if you do, what are the chances that you're going to read it for a 3rd time? For me, reading books and collecting books, like buying books and reading books, are different. Those are 2 different hobbies. So I'm right there with all the girlies that like to bring the totes and the matchas to the bookstore. Like, I'm there. But I do try to encourage people to go to the library. And for me, like, there's something about a tangible book. So I love audiobooks. They're more accessible to me. Like, I can just pull it up, press play at different points in the day. But there's just something like Fourth Wing right now is the hardcover that I'm like on my side in my bed with the pages that you just, that definitely, I have weak wrists. So that definitely is like giving me a run for my money. So the fact that I'm like right now doing a mix of like my Kindle, because I can turn out all of the lights, right? And do a little cute ritual, and like I got the little clicker thing so I can lay on my side and just read for longer. It helps me to fall asleep. That's a very different experience than when I like was like, I want to read. And then I like turned on my lamp and like picked up Fourth Wing. Thank you all for coming along with me. I will scroll down just to again give you like the breezy breeze, but this is what we're looking at. If you haven't made your autumn bucket list, what are you waiting for? You've got all of these categories to consider. There's so much to do and so much to take part in this season. And I just really hope that you found value in running through my bucket list with me. Leave a comment down below if you've got other things that you've watched, read, eaten that you would recommend to each other. And share the Krabby Patty secret recipe in the comments for all the fall stuff that you make. But it just, again, helps my future self, helps plan for the season, helps to make sure that I make space for things that I like and the things that I want to enjoy. And we kind of go from there. The only other thing I just am realizing that I didn't add that I think I should add to the list because it's relatively new is I think I'm going to put fall on this list. Season's coming to a close. I think we're in the playoffs now. But kickball is like a very fall, getting crispy out. Maybe I'll just put sports. Like I'm in a Trail of the Month club. Ooh. See? This is what happens. Yeah. But if you're here for the yaps, I know that you'll stay. So there's a lot out there for you to explore. And I just hope that this was helpful. And if anything, you just have me rambling on in the background while you make your own list.